Oh, hey there.
Oh, hey there.
How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. I am Bradley.
I'm Kate.
And we are the History
Buffoons. Tis true.
It's true. I was just going to ask you how you are today, but I did that right. So what do we got first? Let's get right into it. My bad.
We are going to talk about a man named Lee Nailing.
Nailing? Like I'm nailing a board or something? Okay.
He was one of over 200,000 children sent west on the orphan trains.
In the United States? Mm-hmm. Orphan Train. I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Oh, okay, cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
200,000 children?
Yeah.
It's a lot of children.
A little bit.
Because what year are we talking?
So the orphan train began in like the late 1800s, and then it went through 1929.
Oh, so it was around for a while.
It was like 75 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Longer than I would have guessed. But
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 disclaimers. It's really warm in here, so we have the fan on. If you hear any noise, I apologize. I'll do my best in editing to get that out.
But we would rather stay alive than melt on camera.
Yeah, that would be something.
Don't need that.
I don't need to go viral while I'm dead. So
That got dark.
that got dark real quick. Right quick? We went to the gas station near Kate's house because we didn't really feel like going all the way into town to get podcast beers.
And like going all the way into town is like 15 minutes, but
Well, just
15 minutes there, 15 minutes back, 10 minutes to pick it out.
Yeah. We wanted to get to recording. So we went to the gas station. Like, oh, let's look at the single store. I'm like, hey, we both like Monster. Let's try the Beast. Side note, I looked at the date. They were both produced in June of last year. So I'm guessing, being a former beer salesman, these don't sell very well. They probably have a longer shelf life than a beer does because of what they are. But I don't know what those are. So
mine's called Killer Sunshine, and it has 6% alcohol.
Mine is White Haze, also with set 6%. So what we do have, just in case, backup beers if we don't like these. So don't feel obligated to drink these.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Or to drink yours, I should say.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, mine tastes like orange.
Mine tastes like white. I don't know. It says White Haze. That is actually far better than I expected.
Same. It tastes like Monster.
Yeah. Mine maybe a little different than the normal white Monster. The, Monster Zero Ultra. But, wow. I am pleasantly surprised. I don't normally drink shit like this anyways because it's usually really sweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting. And they're also 24 fluid ounces, so we're sucking this down for a minute.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's get into the orphan train.
The orphan train of the mid 1800s, early 1900s. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do this.
So I read a children's book.
Is that what it is?
Technically, it was written for children.
Oh, okay.
But I would say like tween age.
Oh, so it was more like, what is the books that Amy always reads? YA, young adult books, whatever they call them, right?
but even younger than that because young adult is
can be a little racy.
Spicy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read the Orphan Train Rider, One Boy's True Story.
Okay.
And it was written by Andrea Warren. I got it on Kindle. It took me about an hour to read. So.
Yeah, you had mentioned you read a book for this, and you said you got through it real quick.
Yeah, but it was super simple, easy reading, so I'm not upset about it.
No, but that makes more sense now because it being more geared towards tweens or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
What's up, tweenie bopper?
Right. So we're actually going to go to the year 1924.
Oh, that's a good year.
So just 5 years before they stopped the orphan trains.
Because you said it stopped in 29?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1924, Lee Nailing is 7 years old.
Okay.
And he lives in upstate New York on a farm with his father. He is the middle child of 7.
Oh, God.
Yes. So he had 2 older brothers, Ross and Fred.
Okay.
And an older sister, Evelyn.
Okay.
And then there's Lee.
Yep.
And then there's 3 younger brothers, Leo,
Oh.
Gerald, and George.
Oh, so just the one sister, 6 boys.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. All of them come back around, but I'll do my best to kind of help you remember who they are in the lineup.
Yeah, I definitely won't remember names and or age.
Yeah. The ones that we're going to be talking about the most is Leo, his next youngest brother.
Okay.
And Gerald, the second
youngest?
to last.
Yeah, right.
Second to last. Okay, so they actually had 2 other siblings, but they died in infancy.
Oh, gotcha.
And then the reason was never really made clear in the book.
Disclosed.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me.
And then at just 35 years old, Lee's mother, Julie, died from complications following the birth of her youngest child, George.
Oh, bummer.
And after that death, it left a pretty large gap in the family. His father was overwhelmed with grief.
Sure.
And for a short time, he did try to hold things together and care for all 7 children on his own.
Okay.
But the strain of it, whether it was emotional, physical, financial,
All of it.
it was more than he could sustain.
Yeah.
And at some point, something kind of gave.
Okay.
So
So what happened to the father? What's the father's name again? Sorry.
I don't have his father's name, actually.
didn't?
Nope,
Oh, okay.
It wasn't disclosed in the book.
That's all right.
Yeah. So Lee's father made a series of decisions that ended up scattering the entire family.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
So he told the 3 oldest children, Ross, Fred, and Evelyn, that they would need to leave and take care of themselves now.
Oh, wow. How old were they?
That it was not disclosed in the book. I know.
So you said Lee was 7 at this time.
Lee was 7 at this time.
So anywhere probably from 8 to 19 we'll go. And that's just obviously a huge guess.
Huge guess, yeah.
But okay. I'm guessing they're probably closer to like the 12, 13, 14, 15 range.
Probably.
If I had to guess.
Yeah. I do have, I think, the ages of the younger ones.
Okay.
Just because Lee is the main focus and we know that he's 7.
Yeah.
And Leo is a year younger. And then baby George, there's Gerald, but then baby George is an infant.
Right.
So.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So Ross, Fred, and Evelyn needed to leave and take care of themselves.
Why do I keep doing that?
What are you doing?
It splashed at me.
Oh. But then the infant, George, was sent to live with family friends.
Okay.
While the second youngest, Gerald, just 1 year old at the time, was taken in by another family.
Oh, wow.
That's all we know of that.
And
like I said, this was geared towards more tweens, so there's not a ton of detail, so my apologies, but
no, it's okay.
The basis is there.
Yeah, so basically that's the end of Gerald's story. He went to go live with a family.
Almost. Not quite, but
Oh, does he come back up too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is clear at this time, though, that Lee, actually, his name is Alton, but I'll get to his name change later, but we're just going to call him Lee.
Okay.
Lee and his younger brother, Leo, were taken to the Jefferson County Orphan Asylum in Watertown, New York, which is like super upstate.
It's whenever you put an asylum word on a place,
Yeah.
it gives it a very dark undertone, doesn't
Sanatorium.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the Metallica song, Sanitarium.
Did I say it wrong?
You said sanatorium. Isn't that a real thing too, though?
What's the difference?
I don't know. We'd have to look into that.
Sanitarium and sanatorium. Is one British?
Maybe. Is there a U in it?
Is there a U? Lee and Leo were told that they were orphans. And Lee remembers being really confused by that.
Well, because he still had a dad?
Yeah, he had a father. And for a short time, his father even paid the orphanage $3 a week for their care. But that arrangement didn't last very long. And before too long, Lee and Leo were then considered wards of the state. No one visited them in any way.
That's so weird.
Yeah. It was just like they're paying for it, and then all of a sudden he's not paying for it.
I don't know how you could do that. I get the grief stricken and all that and the financial thing. I get it, but man, that's fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine just, well, there you go.
Yeah. It's sad.
Peace out, homies.
So before the 1800s, children in situations like this might have been taken in by neighbors, extended family, or friends.
Right.
But by the time that Lee arrived at the orphanage, the system was breaking down under pressure. Dun, 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 dun.
Don't do that.
Why?
Because I don't want to pay him money.
There were simply too many children. Industrialization was changing the way that people worked. Farm machinery were reducing the need for labor in rural areas, while factories in cities drew in massive numbers of workers, creating fierce competition for jobs.
Right.
Wages dropped, and workers became super replaceable.
Yep.
There's another 5 lining up for your job.
Pretty much.
So at the same time, hundreds of thousands of immigrants were arriving as well, all competing for the limited availabilities, opportunities, resources. Housing is starting to become scarce. Rent would rise. Multiple families crowded into small apartments, and food became harder to afford.
Are you talking about the 1920s or today? Because shit, everything you're listing off is going on today too, which is fucking wild. All right, Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, like rising food prices, rent going up, house, whatever. Jesus
Low
Christ.
wages, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. We're going to have to start moving in with neighbors, I think.
Oh, fuck that.
I choose not the neighbors to the south. Yeah, south.
Yeah.
I had to think about the direction.
No, I would have corrected you.
Yeah.
I would move in with Lyle. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
It's my one neighbor.
You're a single neighbor out in the boonies.
I live in an old farmstead. Mine is like the original house of it, but there's 2 houses to the west of me. So I have 2 neighbors, but direct neighbor, 1. I don't have anything on the other side. It's just a field. So
yeah,
Lyle's a cool dude. He'll come and shovel or snow blow my driveway from time to time for me and help out, or I'll help with the mailbox area and whatever with him. So
shout out to Lyle.
Lyle.
So children started to become part of the solution. Kids as young as 5 or 6 worked long hours to bring in a few pennies. They would sell matches, shine shoes, peddle newspapers, picked coal, or ran any errands, anything to help. Some begged on the streets, just barely old enough to walk. And with all of that, it wasn't enough.
No.
So entire families could work and still not survive because there was no welfare system, no safety net to catch them when things were falling apart. So poverty forced impossible decisions. Some parents left infants where they might be found or cared for, while others abandoned them in places where survival was unlikely.
Oh, how could... I get times are tough, but come on, man.
I think abstinence would be the best policy.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, obviously you can't control outside forces creating difficult times. And you're not like, man, I feel like there's going to be a downturn in the market in a couple of years. Probably should hold off having a kid. You don't know those things, obviously, or whatever. But some of these people they clearly did not care.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't know their whole story.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like they tried, right? I mean, am I wrong on how that comes across at least?
I feel like this was like a subtle increase and to find out you're pregnant and then 9 months later you're like, crap, we're in a really bad situation. Like that would be rough.
Right.
It would be rough.
Yeah.
But at least give the child a chance by putting it maybe a church, perhaps.
A church, or isn't it still, you can still leave it at a fire station? I don't know if they had it back then, but whatever.
Oh gosh, what is that called? There's a
term for it, right?
Yeah.
I don't recall, but you can, No questions asked. Leave it at a...
Exactly. So older children, sometimes as young as 6 or 7, were pushed out simply because there wasn't enough space or food to keep them, aka like Lee's family.
Yep.
Thousands of children ended up on the streets, surviving however they could, and the law offered little protection.
Jesus.
Children were treated as adults, meaning even young kids could be jailed or worse for stealing.
I mean, obviously, if it was worse, bad idea, but like shit, I'd want to get caught stealing.
I bet
Just to go to the jail.
The jail systems probably weren't good.
Oh, in the 20s? I mean, they're not good today.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what they were 100 years ago?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So most children in orphanages came from that reality. Many weren't actually orphans.
Mm-hmm.
About half still had at least one living parent who just simply couldn't take care of them. Others did disappear completely, but for children like Lee, entering an orphanage felt uncertain and permanent. Like there wasn't any, like he had no hope really even.
Well, how could he?
Yeah.
Seriously.
So life inside the orphanage was difficult. Lee remembered being hungry most of the time.
Sure.
In his book, he said, quote, "Many nights I went to bed with my stomach growling. The food I remember eating was potatoes. Excuse me. The food I remember eating the most was potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
We never got fresh vegetables or fruits. We never got a piece of candy. Both Leo and I were thin," end quote.
Not surprised.
Yeah. So Lee actually also carried a scar on his arm from a moment when another boy stabbed him with a fork as he reached for a biscuit.
Oh. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a dick move, man.
It was his biscuit.
The kid's biscuit?
It was, the kid with the fork. It was his biscuit, apparently.
Well.
Who knows? Yeah.
Okay.
Food was also used as a punishment, and children who misbehaved were denied meals, which often meant that Lee went without food because he fought constantly.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Later, he would reflect on his temper during this time, recognizing that while it caused problems, it also helped him survive a little bit because he refused to be pushed around or accept being treated as worthless.
Well, you gotta, you're in a shitty situation, kind of, literally on your own, more or less.
Yeah.
You gotta fight for your right to party. No, that's a PC Boy song. You gotta fight to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Even at that tender age of 7. Mm-hmm. Fuck, that's insane.
Yeah.
And
Leo was probably 6.
Right. Late 5s, probably 6 for sure. And that's just crazy.
Yeah.
No thanks.
So the adults in the orphanage were not abusive, but they were distant. Yeah. They were distant, they were stern, they were structured, and they didn't have any affection.
Okay.
Lee says, quote, "What I learned was that all adults lie to you. Our father had deserted us. Our other relatives didn't care about us. Mm-hmm. The people running the orphanage did only what they had to do for us. I came to distrust anything an adult told me."
Can you blame him?
No.
I mean, just take everyone else out. But the dad, like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
And then you get all these other people that, like you said, they weren't harmful to the kids, but they were just distant, no love, nothing. They weren't there for love and affection. They were there to try and maintain the abundance of kids they were given. So it's like, yeah. Oh, poor Lee.
So that distrust in adults stayed with him throughout his entire youth.
Sure.
He thought about running away often, but he couldn't leave Leo.
Right.
He felt responsible for him, watching out for him, holding on to belief that one day they would leave and somehow find the rest of their siblings and be together again. The two of them stayed in the orphanage for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So now he's 9 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
He's a man at this age.
No kidding.
Fuck.
In 1926, Lee, Leo, and 10 other children were given news that felt fairly exciting.
Well,
they got to go on a train ride.
Yeah, but it's a one-way ticket, dude.
They didn't know where they were going.
Of course.
They didn't know why. But it felt like something different, so they were excited about it.
Sure, I mean, at least at this point in their lives.
And these trains were called the orphan trains.
So, we're talking about New York right now. Mm-hmm. Was there multiple, like, on the East Coast that did this, or was it mainly from New York that you would, even if you're just guessing?
The majority came from New York, but other places like more East Coast, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boston, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So orphan trains weren't new at the time. The system had already been in operation in the United States since 1854.
That's crazy.
Yeah, growing out of an earlier effort to solve a problem that cities like New York could no longer contain.
I can't believe I've never heard of this, though.
Yeah, 75 years.
And that's why it's like, it was around for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I never heard about this. That's strange.
So the effort began with Charles Loring Brace. He was a minister who spent time working in the slums of New York City and became deeply troubled by the number of homeless children that he saw there.
Sure.
He understood that these children, what these children needed went far beyond temporary help. Like, they needed housing, they needed medical care, food, clothing,
education.
Yeah, education, exactly.
Everything.
And stability. They needed stability.
Right.
So he founded the Children's Aid Society in 1853.
Okay.
So creating an organization built not just to provide relief, but to actively change the trajectory.
Trajectory?
That's the one, of children's lives. Trajectory. Did I say it wrong again? Trajectory.
You didn't say it wrong. You just said it weird.
So Brace later described the children who came through his doors as some of the most heartbreaking sights he had ever encountered. Young girls in rags with nowhere to sleep, children pushed out of unstable homes that were shaped by alcohol and poverty, and orphans who survived wherever they could find space, whether that meant a box, a stairway, or a doorway. So there were boys cast out by step-parents, newsboys who answered the simple question of where they lived with nowhere, and children working as bootblacks, peddlers, and flower sellers, all trying to get without slipping further into trouble.
Sure.
Of course, some already had pickpockets or petty thieves, though even then, many were still trying to find honest work. So that steady stream of children, each carrying their own hardship and loneliness, stayed with him.
Sure.
Brace. So hearing those stories again and again was not something that he wanted to ignore anymore. So he began reaching out to people with money and influence, asking them to support his efforts.
Okay.
He wrote articles, gave paid lectures, and used whatever he earned to fund programs that, in his view, did more than offer charity. They created opportunities for children to change their own circumstances and help themselves.
So, me having a 7-year-old, and I obviously understand times were different 100 years ago, first and foremost, they're put in this shitty situation. You know Xavier. Could he survive doing this? I don't think so. But also, I'm raising
sheltered
today. I don't know if I'd say he's sheltered
compared to them. Then, yeah,
a possum in a live trap is more sheltered than that kid. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I can't picture it.
No,
that's all I'm trying to say.
I think if Vesper was 7,
she would be beating
she would be fine.
People up.
She would be fine.
She would be fine because she is a pistol. Jesus. Oh, man. She thinks she runs the fucking house. For sure. And I'll tell her no. Please. It's like, I just said no. And then she gets mad at me. Because she didn't like the outcome. It's like, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
You got to learn. Anyways.
So, Charles Loring Brace did not believe orphanages were the answer.
No.
So, In his view, they were overcrowded, impersonal, and ultimately ineffective at preparing children for independent life, as we kind of heard from the 2 years that Lee was there.
Yeah, for sure.
What children needed, he believed, were real families, and so he began to look beyond the city towards the west, a place where he and many others saw a full opportunity, stability, and people willing to take in a child as both help and family.
Sure. Yeah, more like a mobile adoption agency.
Yeah.
So.
But like on the up and up, not like Georgia Tan.
Fuck Georgia Tan. We keep bringing her up and saying she sucks.
Because she's like one of the most evil people that we've like covered. One of them.
One of them. Because like we haven't gone straight on with some of the most evil people because everyone does those.
Everyone does those,
but from what we've done for story-wise, she probably was, if not the most, very damn close, the most evil person we talked about.
Yeah.
But like, at least this person, Brace, right?
Yeah.
Is trying to help these kids out.
Yeah.
Not be like, oh, fuck them kids. I just want to make money off you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of refreshing.
Yeah. So from that belief came a plan that he called Placing Out, in which children would be sent by train to rural towns and placed with families with local communities, helping to ensure those homes could provide proper care.
So I don't know if this is even mentioned or said or anything, just best guess if not. Did he have to like go communicate with these towns then and basically just be like, hey, I got this thing going on.
Yes.
Will you assist me kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, obviously you can't just be like, hey, this train ends in name your town here. Get off there and good luck.
Right,
You
right.
know, it's
no,
like fucking hell.
He actually tried to have a plan in place.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
So in 1854, the Children's Aid Society tested that idea by sending 46 boys and girls to a small town in Michigan.
Oh.
And when every child was taken in, the success was immediate and fairly convincing for him. He was encouraged by those results, and the organization began sending larger groups farther west, expanding what would eventually become known as the Orphan Train Movement.
Sure.
A system that over the next 75 years would grow into the largest migration of children in history.
Well,
When you put it like that, you're like, oh, oh dear.
well, even when you said like the orphan train, the first thing I thought was like, I don't want to say sinister, but like bad. I'm like, oh great, what they do? Run this train off an unfinished bridge?
Yeah, yeah.
Take care of the problem?
Oh, I
mean,
see, yeah.
It doesn't sound, the name of it doesn't have a great
Connotation.
Yeah, more or less.
And like I said before, not all of them are actually orphans. They have a parent that just can't be with them.
Well, no, it's not they can't be with them, it's that their parents suck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. It sounds like most of them did because they just got rid of their kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, fuck them. But
So Lee,
yeah.
not having known any of this history, because it's already been going on for
Well, yeah,
70 years, whatever.
70 plus years, yeah.
Yeah. He remembered the day that it became pertinent to him.
Okay.
He and Leo and other children, about 10, were dressed in brand new clothes, something he's never experienced before. He always had hand-me-downs or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
But it made them feel special and important, even as if they were going to be sent somewhere meaningful.
Sure.
And at the crowded train station, the noise and the movement and the hustle and bustle and the anxiety kind of only added to that feeling that something exciting was about to happen.
It added to the excitement because it's stuff that he's not used to.
Yeah.
So he's like, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
So get this.
What?
I have to burp.
Yeah, that's what I need to get. That sounds terrible.
Standing there waiting to board,
Yeah.
Lee put his arm wrapped around Leo, holding on to something that was familiar to him, and he heard his name being called. He turned around and a man stepped forward holding a small child, his father.
Was it the Gerald?
And it was Gerald.
What the fuck?
Gerald was 1.
Well, when
Gerald was the second to youngest.
Oh, that's right.
That's okay. There's a lot of...
What was the youngest one again?
George.
Yes. That's why. Okay.
So Gerald was the second youngest, and he was one when he was being given away, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So his father was there with Gerald in his arms. Gerald, who is now 3 years old, was to go with them on the train. Lee says, quote, I didn't remember Gerald since he was only a year old the last time I saw him. When I asked my father where the train was taking us, he said to find a family who could care for us. How could this be? I insisted we wanted to be with him. I begged him to keep us, but he kept saying he couldn't, end quote. Before they boarded, his father handed Lee a long pink envelope, already stamped and addressed to himself, and told him that once the boys were settled, he should write his father and let him know where they were.
No, fuck you. Why?
Because he still loved them.
Did he, though?
He just didn't have the means to care for them. I don't even know what he did for a living.
Well, didn't you say they were farmers?
Oh, yeah, I did say that.
Wow.
That was like my first sentence.
It was pretty
close. That was a long time ago.
30 minutes, give or take.
So on the train, Lee found himself adjusting quickly to something that didn't make sense. Gerald is all of a sudden with him. Younger boy was like easily settling in between him and Leo and clinging to them as if they've never been apart, even though Lee had no idea where Gerald had been these last 2 years.
And there's no way a 1-year-old who's now 3 remembers these brothers.
We also don't know.
There might be a familiarity to them, but that it would be fucking it.
Yeah. And then we also don't know how long Gerald was with their father.
Because so George was given to that other family, but didn't you say Gerald originally was given to some family friends? George
went with family friends.
Do I have him backwards?
Yep, that's okay. And Gerald was taken in by some other family. We don't know.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So apparently the other family's like, sorry, dude, not working out.
We don't know.
We gave it a try.
Yeah.
And who knows for how long, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 2 years, but as far as we know, Gerald was only there for a month.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know. We don't fucking know. Nope. So, okay.
So, meals on the train were simple, sandwiches, fruit, and milk, but to the boys it felt like an abundance. They ate
had to
eagerly.
Be like a smorgasbord for them.
Yeah, it was finally enough for them.
Right.
And at one point, there's a matron on the train, and she told Lee to remove his jacket to keep it clean, but he argued with her and refused because that envelope was tucked safely inside. And he actually showed her and said, I don't want to take it off because I have this envelope to my father. I want to keep it on. I want to keep it safe. And she's like, okay.
That's good.
Yes, until it's not.
Oh, wait, is there a reason you said that?
So as the journey continued, more children joined them at Grand Central Station in New York City. And by the time the train pulled away, there were around 50 children packed into the cars, all moving to the west with some unknown future.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So as Lee helped Leo and Gerald settle into the seat, he carefully placed his jacket beside him, making sure that the pink envelope was still there. He allowed himself that this might not be a permanent situation, that his father might come back or he might reunite with him. So he had this hope in this envelope.
Sure.
He fell asleep smiling, and by the morning, he looked in his jacket and the envelope was gone.
Why would someone take that?
Of course, panic set in. When the matron approached and told him to stop looking for it, she made it clear that he would not be getting it back.
So
she had taken it.
Why?
Well, I think I said something in there. I don't remember if it was right here.
Because it
must have been somewhere else I said that, but it was basically like something along the lines of this isn't where you're going, or like there's no chance of you coming back. Yeah.
But that's not ultimately what it was for.
No.
Lee had hopes for it and thought that might be the case, but now.
Yeah.
Okay. What a. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. So agents working with the Child's Aid Society would travel ahead of the trains, stopping in towns along the route to gauge interest and prepare communities for what was coming, putting up notices, spreading the word locally, and organizing screening committees.
Oh, wow.
Made up of respected citizens who would evaluate whether families were suitable to take in a child.
That's nice.
They tried really hard to do their due diligence.
Seems like it, yeah.
The intention, in theory, was to create some level of oversight, as Charles Loring Brace did not want children formally adopted until it was clear that the placement was a good fit.
Sure.
Which meant that many early riders were never legally adopted, even though they would often adopt the last name.
Sure.
Of the families.
I get that.
Yeah.
But.
So agents would return periodically, sometimes once a year, to check on placements as well.
That's kind of nice, yeah.
And they would ensure that conditions were acceptable. Though the reality was the more children, the less opportunity they had to do that.
Well, you have to keep going further west, more or less.
Yeah. And then not every home was safe.
Of course not.
Some children were inevitably placed into difficult or abusive situations.
Yep.
Even so, many placements were considered successful, and during the first 20 years of the program, roughly 3,000 children were sent west each year.
Oh, wow.
Turning what has started as an experiment into a system that moved thousands of lives at a time.
Sure.
So by the time that Lee, Leo, and Gerald had been on the train for about a week, the journey finally brought them to Clarksville, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And the number of children had already been reduced by half.
Sure.
Okay. The remaining children were taken to an old hotel and lined up on their stage one by one. And this is how it did with all the communities. They would line up the children and the
Oh, that one's cute.
Exactly.
Yeah, come here, boy.
Exactly.
What the hell? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Because, again, hopefully most of them are for the good. But like you said, some were not good situations. And it's like, yeah, give me that one.
So there was one part, I didn't write it down, but there was one time when they were all being lined up and some big farmer came over to Lee and was checking out his muscles.
Sure,
He's
of course.
freaking 9.
Yeah.
Checking out his muscles. He even looked into his teeth and Lee bit him on the finger. Yeah. He didn't get chosen that day.
I wonder why. So was Lee trying to keep all three of them together then?
Oh, yeah.
Was that a point for this with them?
I will tell you. Yeah, very soon I will tell you.
Okay. And, too much.
Sweet?
Yeah. I'm almost done with mine. I know I have better opportunity to drink mine.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell. I'm only going to finish this because I don't like wasting money. But there's no way in hell I'd ever buy this again.
Okay.
At least, especially not in this size.
Yeah, this is a lot.
I think they do. They do come in a variety 12-pack with normal size cans, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't recall. Again, I've been out of the business for a bit.
But even Monster by itself is larger cans, aren't they? They're taller cans.
They're typically 16-ounce cans.
Yeah.
They do have bigger than 16-ounce cans, but
right. Yeah.
Not this big.
No. Okay. So the kids were lined up one by one. A man and a woman stopped in front of Gerald, the 3-year-old. The woman spoke softly to him, not sure what was said. And of course, Gerald at 3 was not fully understanding of what was happening.
No.
Excuse me. He simply smiled back at her. And when the woman opened her arms, Gerald went in without hesitation. Oh,
Sure.
She wants a hug.
Oh.
Without saying a word to Lee or Leo,
They just took
the
Gerald?
couple turned around and just walked away, carrying him with them.
Oh.
So at first, it was a little bit too quick to process, but then Gerald, in this woman's arms, is starting to realize that he's being moved away from his brothers, and he begins to scream. He cried out for Lee and Leo, but the brothers had to stay there. There was nothing they could do.
That's sad.
Not long after, another couple approached Leo, who is probably around 7 or 8.
Yep.
They asked if he wanted to go home with them, and Leo's first response was not about himself, but about Lee. Can Lee come with me? And the couple agreed.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Just like that, the two brothers left together to go home with Mr. and Mrs. Rogers, an older couple whose own children were already grown.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Leo adjusted quickly. Within days, he was already calling them Papa and Mama, slipping into like their rhythm of home and just that connection.
Their routine and all that. Yeah. Okay.
Lee did not.
Of course.
He was cautious,
He's the
guarded.
oldest, yeah. He also dealt with the most shit.
Yeah.
Because obviously being a little bit older than Leo, he had to go, protect them in the orphanage and all that stuff, whatever. So, yeah, of course he's going to be a little more cautious.
Yeah, and he doesn't trust adults.
And it's really sad that we're saying that, Lee had to be cautious. It's fucking 9.
I know.
It's just so sad.
I know, so sad.
That he had to be so guarded at such a young age because he did not trust adults, which, again, don't blame him.
Yeah.
But, man, that's just sad. What a terrible way to grow up, I guess.
Yeah. But even so, even though he was cautious and didn't exactly trust adults, over the course of the week, he did begin to relax.
Good.
The farm offered something unfamiliar to Lee and Leo. There was space, there was outdoors, there was food, there was a chance to explore.
Yeah, they could run around and
yes, and for the first time in a long while, both boys were able to experience something close to normal childhood moments.
Sure.
Fishing in the pond, chasing animals, eating real meals, and finally being able to bathe properly because they're also on this train for a week.
No shit.
I
can only imagine.
So for a moment, it felt like this could absolutely work.
Okay.
And then, 7 days later, so a week in, literally 7 days, there was a knock at their door. And Lee says, quote, "When Mrs. Rogers opened the door and the matron from the train came in, I panicked. What was she doing here? If there was one person on this earth I didn't want to see, it was that horrible woman who had stolen my pink envelope," end quote. This decision had been made. The Rogers only wanted to keep one boy, and they chose Leo.
Oh, so that's why she came.
There was no other reason, but it must have been financial as well. Sure. I don't know.
Or
it wasn't disclosed.
Maybe because Leo adapted so quickly and Lee didn't. They're like,
Yeah.
So they're going to tear the brothers apart, huh?
Yeah.
They've been together all this fucking time. That's sad.
But Leo did grow up with these two, and it was a very loving home for Leo. Right.
That's good.
So Lee was taken away. As he was driving off, he looked back and saw Leo running after the car, screaming for him because he didn't know what was happening until it was happening.
That's sad.
Yeah, and of course, it happened kind of the same way as when Gerald left. Just overall sad.
Jesus.
So Lee's next placement was not good.
Oh, boy.
The couple he was taken to showed little interest in him at all.
And this is still in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everything about the experience with this couple felt cold. The drive to their farm was silent. Dinner that night was silent. And there was no sense of belonging there in any meaningful way.
It's almost like they just hired a farmhand, more or less.
Yeah. So the only moment that stood out to Lee was when the man showed him how to bed down the chickens.
Okay.
Giving him a task, something to do, and for a brief moment, Lee had a little sense of purpose.
Right.
So the next morning, trying to help, Lee went out to the chicken coop on his own. His shoes were soaked in dew. He remembered being told that the chickens and the chicks spent their days outside. So he opened the cages and let them out, believing he was doing the right thing.
Oh, boy.
By the time he returned with the man after breakfast, the chicks were dead.
What happened?
They drowned in the dew.
Oh, my God.
Something I would not have thought of.
Why would you? I wouldn't have thought of that. That's fucking wild.
And neither did a 9-year-old child.
Well, no shit.
The man turned to him and said, quote, "Did you open the cages? Did you know them chicks drowned in the early dew? They wasn't to come out till the sun dried up." End quote.
No, he wouldn't have done that.
Cool. You should have told me that last night.
Yeah, you shouldn't have just told me part of the story. Oh, dear. So, did they get rid of him then?
That night, the matron came back.
Oh, fucking, he's just going to get traumatized by this matron.
Yeah. Lee was taken away again. The next placement brought him to Manchester, Texas, which is near the Oklahoma border, where he was taken in.
Like the pan?
Not the pan, the chunky part of Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah. He was taken
I call
in.
it the pan, the handle.
I knew what you meant.
I know, but...
So he was taken in by Ben and Ollie Nailings.
Ollie?
Ollie's the woman's name.
I figured.
Ben and Ollie Nailings.
I didn't think it was Ben.
So at this point, Lee carried an attitude.
Oh, Nailings. That's...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is where he ends up staying? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. So he carried an attitude. It shaped everything he had experienced so far. Loss, separation, broken trust.
Can you blame him?
He had no belief that this situation would be any different.
Yep.
Ben was friendly and Ollie was kind, offering him food and small comforts. But when they took him out onto their farm ground, the man asked him to go stack some wood on the porch. Lee immediately bristled at the request, seeing it not as an option, but more of an expectation.
Yeah.
And Lee said, quote, "It looked to me like the Nailings thought they'd found themselves a chore boy. I turned to him and said, 'Do it yourself. I didn't come here to work for you.'" That response earned him a sharp swat to the butt.
I'm sure.
And in that moment, Lee made up his mind that he was going to run away that night.
Oh, boy.
But
we all know better.
Even after that, Ollie took him inside and showed him his bedroom. His own bedroom. His own bed.
Was it a race car bed?
His own bedroom was something he's never had before.
Well, yeah.
Seven siblings, you know.
Yeah, so from where he
and
grew
an orphanage.
Up, and an orphanage.
Yeah.
7 siblings in an orphanage. That might be the title. Sounds like a fucking weird sitcom.
I'm going to write that down.
Okay. Because, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he be like, oh my God, I actually have a room? I mean, he's literally never experienced this before.
Never.
Do you know, was there any other children at the Nailings place?
No.
Okay.
They did not say if they were childless or anything like that, I don't believe.
If they grew up like that other older couple or whatever.
So his own bed, his own bedroom, but still Lee was suspicious. He was convinced that the kindness was temporary, that it would be followed by demands or disappointment. Ollie tucked him in and actually kissed him on the cheek.
Aww.
And he's never experienced something like that in the last 2 years.
Well, especially because Ma died, obviously.
Yeah.
And then orphanage, whatever. So he hasn't had any affection whatsoever. No. And for, I show affection to Xavier all the time. I show affection to Vesper all the time. And she's just, but then she'll give it back from time to time. But Xavier, he has a hard time, but he's 7. I get that. So I don't force it.
He's gotten better since I've known him. Like I hear him come up to you all the time. Can I have a hug? Or you tell me that.
Yeah. Like it's so cute because like he wasn't feeling good the other day, and so Sarah went to bed with Vesper. Xavier wanted to sleep with me because I'm his like comfort zone, and he purposely woke up before I left so he could get a hug. And I wake up super ass early, as you know, for work. So he wanted to make sure he got a hug from me before I left. So
I know, I love that.
I know, and so do I.
He's a good boy.
He really is.
So that kiss on the cheek was a small gesture that carried more weight than Ollie knew, and even Lee knew.
Oh, sure.
That night, Lee ended up crying for half the night.
Aw.
Whether it was from the kindness or the confusion or everything that he had been carrying, he couldn't quite say. Yeah. But he would never forget that moment.
Right.
So before dinner
Yeah.
with Ollie and Ben.
Are we talking like the next day kind of thing? Or
So I think
just in
I might
general?
have mixed up the
okay.
timeline because he was only there for a day during this part of my story.
Mm-hmm.
So they must have had dinner and then went to bed. So my apologies if I got that out of order.
That's fine.
But before dinner, Ollie ended up praying. And in that prayer, she thanked God for sending them their new son.
Oh,
And that's the words that she used.
that sounds like a good reason why he might have been kind of crying
Maybe.
at night.
Yeah.
So maybe that was prior to. Either way, well, that had to mean something to him too. You would.
He felt wanted.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. They fed him well, bought him new clothes, introduced him proudly to the community over the next couple of days, included him in their daily lives in a way that didn't feel forced.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, he started to feel like, okay,
Maybe they want me here.
I could
Yeah.
see myself staying here and calling this home.
Yeah, it's like I could hang out for a little while.
Yeah, so they were a really good couple.
That's awesome.
So in 1910, a report from the Children's Aid Society claimed that 87% of orphan-trained children did well, suggesting a high level of success despite their difficult beginnings.
Sure.
Many writers went on to become influential figures.
Really?
Governors, judges, lawyers, teachers, soldiers. Others built really stable lives, strong families. There was a man named Andrew Burke and John Green Brady who rose to positions of leadership.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Over time, the Orphan Train Movement was seen as proof that placing children in families could, excuse me, could be. It was a hiccup thingy.
Yeah, but and I've heard you do it, but like the fact that you did it, like, and then you just kept blah, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck? That was, I don't know. It just was weird. Anyways, continue.
The Orphan Train Movement was seen as proof that placing children in families could be more effective than institutionalized care,
Yeah.
even if the system wasn't perfect.
Sure.
The program ended in 1929 due to new child labor laws, adoption regulations, reduced immigration, and the introduction of welfare programs that helped families stay together.
Oh, that makes sense.
As social systems improved, large orphanages were replaced by foster care.
Sure.
But the legacy of the orphan trains did remain significant, with millions of descendants tracing their roots back to the children who wrote them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's wild. I mean, is there, it sounds like there was some good bookkeeping. Like, did they have like, over that 75 years, like a list of all the, children that were sent west?
So there is a museum type of thing in Kansas.
Really?
I don't recall Concordia, maybe, if Concordia is a town there.
If that's a thing.
Yeah. And I think I read something about like they had 8,000 names.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know if it was for Kansas specifically or if it was for the whole, program. I don't know.
8,000 out of 200,000. I mean, not a good batting average.
Yeah.
Either way.
But
it's, over time, 1800s. Am I right?
Yeah.
Things get lost.
Yeah. But it sounds like they tried really, really hard to make it successful in the right,
in the
steps.
Right way. Yeah. In the right way.
Yeah.
Which is great because you took a shitty situation in an overcrowded town, city, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, New York City, but and you tried to make the best of it. And like 87%.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I feel really bad for the 13%, obviously, because there's no way you were going to get a 100%.
No, because people are still awful in the 1800s.
Well, they're still awful today.
Yeah, so
people are people, and so you're not going to get 100%. 87% is pretty fucking good, though.
Yeah, it is.
You just gotta kind of little feel for the 13%, because
for sure.
They obviously were looking for a better life too. They're fucking kids. They don't know better, and they're trying to, get a better life, and then get into a shitty situation.
Yeah.
But no, that's so. I'll be honest. Are you done with your story, or do you have more to go?
I have more to go.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You continue, and then I'll say what I was going to say later.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I thought you were done. I apologize.
That's okay. So after some initial struggles, Lee gradually settled into life with the Nailings, earning respect at school, making friends, becoming part of the community.
Nice.
They treated him like their own.
Yeah.
They gave him a pony, a dog, new clothes, and then also a new name. So if you recall, I said that his name was Alton.
Yeah.
And everybody called him Al. But for some reason, Ollie hated the name Al. She corresponded that name with someone she didn't like. And she thought that Lee's middle name was so let me rewind. Alton, his middle name was Lou.
Oh, she thought his middle name was Lee.
Ollie thought it was Lee.
Oh, so she started calling him Lee.
Yes, so his name changed from Alton Clement to Lee Clement Nailing.
Oh, well, it's nice that they kept his his maiden name.
His biological last name. Yeah.
So at least even though again, whatever the fucking dad's intent was, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Being said, but I'm all about like my family. Like, I wish I knew more of the history. Unfortunately, one of the biggest proponents of that is gone now, and he never even fucking talked about it anyways. So
your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice they left a little bit of his
history.
Yeah, his history, his heritage, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
History is probably better, but
So the Nailings also made sure that Lee stayed in contact with his brothers Leo and Gerald.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So they were able to find out where they went and everything?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they would arrange regular visits so they could spend time growing up together.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and they would switch off what family they would stay with for a little bit. So Gerald had a good family, Leo had a good family, and then the Nailings.
Yeah, Leo had a good family. Just, you don't want me? Fuck you. Just kidding. So did they ever find the three older ones again?
Yes.
They did?
Yes.
Holy fuck, that's awesome.
So I will continue.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. Although Lee came to love his new family and life in Texas, he still carried quite an emotional weight from his past.
Sure.
He would often wonder about his biological family, and he still mourned for that lost pink envelope.
Of course, yeah.
Because it was his connection. It was the potential for connection.
In his world, his only piece of connection to his family past, whatever you want to call it, because you're fucking 9.
Yeah.
And we're in 1926.
Yeah.
It's not like, hold on, let me Google this.
Yeah.
Obviously. So it's like you had limited fucking availability.
Yeah.
Shit, even if you sent a letter then, who knows when they're going to get it? Kind of shit.
So over time, Lee's anger softened.
Good.
He grew to genuinely love and trust the Nailings, eventually seeing them as his true parents and embracing the life that they gave him.
That's awesome.
As he matured, he became more outgoing. He did well in school and sports, stayed close with his brothers, and worked hard on their farm and in the family business, which was never disclosed.
Oh, okay.
But in the end, despite everything that he had lost, Lee came to see his new home in Texas as the best place he could have grown up.
Place?
Yeah, best place he could have grown up.
You said play.
Sorry.
I'm like...
So as he grows older, Lee builds a full life. Yeah. He works hard at the family business, marries a woman named Novelle, and starts a family on his own.
I like that name.
Novelle.
Yeah, I do. Cute. I like that name.
But World War II happens.
Oh, dear. Does he go to work?
So his brothers Gerald and Leo are already serving in the army, and Lee was then drafted. Okay,
Shit.
so all three of them are in the war.
Okay.
And of course, tragedy strikes.
Oh, dear.
Gerald was held captive as a prisoner of war by the Japanese. And at one time, he is on a Japanese ship with other American prisoners of war, and not knowing that there were American prisoners on this Japanese ship, we unknowingly sunk their ship.
How would they have known that, though?
They wouldn't have.
You can't fault the people that do that. They think they're taking out a Japanese ship. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not like they got the fucking manifest.
Yeah, it was one of our submarines.
Oh, shit. There's some Americans on here. Don't
Yeah.
sink it. It's like they
Yeah.
wouldn't have had that information. Does it suck? Obviously, but you can't fault them for that.
No. So after the war, Lee returns home and settles into a stable.
So you said that was Gerald?
Gerald.
And was George, you said, also in the war?
George, we have
Not George.
Leo.
Leo, I'm
Yep,
sorry.
Leo was over there as well.
So both of them made it back, though?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
I don't know
so
why I said George there.
that's okay. I know there's a lot of names.
I think because Gerald.
Yeah.
The G got in my brain.
Lee returns home and settles. He becomes a business owner, not disclose what it was.
Sure.
He raises his children and remains close to the Nailing family. And in Ollie's later years, she ends up moving in with them and he's caring for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all in all, it's a good life full of family, respect, purpose. But he never forgot his origins.
His family, yeah.
In 1984,
Oh, shit. 60 years later?
a newspaper story about Lee, again, not disclose what it was about, if it was about the orphan trains, if it was
Or
about
just Lee
in the
himself?
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. So he receives a letter after this newspaper article comes out that is from someone he doesn't know.
Of course.
But for the first time, he starts to learn some details about his biological family.
Okay.
This letter says that his older brother, Ross, is alive.
Wow.
And in the letter is a phone number or a way to get in touch with Ross, and Lee does it immediately.
Oh, I mean, I bet as soon as he got to that part, where's the number?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So he said this is one of the most powerful moments in his life.
Sure.
Before meeting, he admits his uncertainty. Lee says, quote, "I wondered if Ross and I would feel any kind of bond, if we would know we were family.
Right.
But the moment he sees him, that doubt disappears."
That's awesome.
Lee runs forward to throw his arms around the brother he had not seen in 60 years.
That's crazy.
The connection is instant and overwhelming. It was wonderful. No one can imagine the feeling. This was my brother, and I loved him, end quote.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
awesome. Is that the only sibling he reconnected with?
So, yes. So through Ross,
Yeah.
Lee learns a little bit more about his father as well.
Okay.
Ross and Fred, the other oldest boy, lived on the streets for a while.
Sure.
Yeah. And he hears that their father had seen Ross and Fred on the streets. And his father had been distant, as he was a troubled man and someone who barely acknowledged Ross and Fred.
Right.
Yeah. So that was kind of sad.
That is sad. I mean, he gave his whole family away. Yeah. He's obviously troubled.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that sucks that he saw them and didn't even do anything, but he gave them away.
Yeah. But Lee still remembers that moment. He said, quote, "That day he gave me the pink envelope. I think he really cared about us," end quote.
He probably did. Mm-hmm. I mean,
to a point.
To a point. But again, grief-stricken from losing his wife.
Yeah.
Because the wife died having George.
Or complications of birth. Could have been immediately afterwards.
Yeah, maybe not die giving to birth.
Yeah.
But yes. Because she gave birth to George, she ended up passing away.
Yes.
So I get
Maybe
it.
it was childbed fever.
Ignace.
Ignace Semmelweis.
Wash your hands, bitches.
So the reunion doesn't stop with Ross.
Good.
Lee reconnects again with his surviving brothers,
Okay.
Leo and George, the baby.
How did they find George?
It's not disclosed.
That's fucking
I know.
amazing.
Yes, but
That's crazy.
Ross said that George was still living in New York City. So somehow...
Oh, so whatever family he ended up with...
Somehow.
Stayed there. He grew up
Yeah.
there. Because, I mean, fucking... George would be 61 at this point. Mm-hmm. That's fucking... Or 60 even, maybe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So they spent time sharing stories, filling in decades of missing history, and just trying to be brothers again.
Sure.
And Lee says that those were the happiest days of his life.
Well, yeah, because he got to connect with his actual siblings. Mm-hmm. Any word on Evelyn or no?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I don't think I wrote it down, but she was no longer living. Was
bummer.
not said how she died, but she and Fred were the two that had passed, gotcha. And then Gerald on the ship.
Right. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's so cool that he was able to reconnect with the living siblings, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, in his later years, Lee reflects on his journey as a sense of gratitude. He speaks to others, especially children, about resilience, loss, and the importance of choosing how to respond to hardship because he grew up so angry.
Who wrote the book?
Her name is Andrea Warren.
Did she have a connection with him at all, or just knew the story?
I didn't look into that.
And that's okay.
Sorry.
Okay, continue with your thing.
Okay.
I wanted to say something otherwise.
Okay. So Lee found not just one family, but two.
Right.
He was able to bring them back together.
For sure.
And of course, Lee's story is just one out of the thousands of children.
200,000, you said, right?
So the Orphan Train Movement ran roughly from 1854 to 1929 and relocated an estimated 200,000 children from crowded cities, primarily New York, to rural communities across the United States. It is often considered the largest child relocation effort in American history.
Yep.
And like most large-scale solutions, it lived in a complicated gray area between rescue and risky.
Sure, yeah.
So on the hopeful side, many children like Lee were placed with families who genuinely wanted them. Some found stability, opportunity, and a sense of belonging they had never known. Mm-hmm. A number of riders went on to become business owners, community leaders, and public officials.
Crazy.
The program helped shape early ideas of foster care and adoption systems that we still recognize today.
Sure, except for Georgia Tan.
But of course, the reality wasn't always kind. There is a harder side. There was no consistent screening processes early on. They tried their best. Yep. But children were sometimes chosen in what essentially looked like public lineups. Some were taken in as labor rather than family, expecting to work farms or households with little emotional support.
Yep.
Siblings were frequently separated, often never seeing each other again.
Yep. I can't believe they were able to do that.
Records were poorly kept, making reunions like Lee's extremely rare.
Yeah.
Many children experienced neglect, abuse, or lifelong identity struggles from not knowing where they came from.
Sure.
Historians estimate roughly half to 2/3 of placements were considered stable or positive. And that leaves a significant number where the outcome was uncertain or difficult.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just the truth of it. The Orphan Train wasn't purely a story of rescue. It wasn't purely a story of exploitation. It was both.
No, for sure. I mean, and it wasn't intended to be, but that's what it ended up being to a degree, because you're going to get, again, humans being humans.
Yeah.
There's shitty people in this world.
Yeah.
In the 1800s or the present day, there's shitty fucking people. So you're going to get some that are like, again, yeah, well, all right, I'll take you because I need some help on my farm to go do this.
Yeah.
This is your job now. Go fuck yourself, do it, or get the fuck out, or whatever. And you hope that's like the bottom but I bet there
Yeah.
was even worse,
Yeah.
which I don't even want to bring up.
So, a system built with good intentions, carried out imperfectly, that changed hundreds of thousands of lives in ways that no one could control. And every once in a while, like in Lee's case, those lives circled back.
Yeah.
Not perfectly, but enough. Enough to stand in a doorway, see a familiar stranger, step out of a car, and realize that after 60 years, you finally found your way back to where you started.
That's crazy. And that's so cool.
And that is Lee Nailing's story, his experience on the orphan train.
So I'll be honest. So what I was going to say before, you weren't done, so I apologize. But I'm like, you said the orphan train. I'm like, did they just put orphans to work on trains? I mean, they're
Yeah.
tiny. They can,
Like the train yard or something?
no, like on trains. Because trains are tight.
Yeah.
Been on trains before, right? Like an actual train?
Yeah, once or twice.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to. There's a train called the Zephyr. It goes from Chicago to, I believe it's San Francisco, and then back. But it goes all the way through like the mountains and stuff and whatever. I want to get a sleeper car and go on that. That'd be fun. Anyways, but I thought, I was like, oh, they send them to work on the trains. Or, like I said, they kind of, well, that bridge isn't done. Send them down that rail.
Yeah.
Took care of the problem. Because that would have been fucking tragic.
That would be so tragic.
Well, I'm just glad that he was able to reconnect with
I know.
some of his family that he always longed to do and never wanted to leave. It just unfortunate situations that he was put in and had to. And the fact that even if it took 60 fucking years, he was able to reconnect with some of his siblings that were still around. So
Right.
that's fucking crazy.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just floored that you gave me a somewhat uplifting story, not a fucking Debbie Downer. I mean, obviously, yeah, there were some hardships and whatever, but ultimately it was a good story and an uplifting story that a lot of these kids, not all unfortunately, a lot of these kids were given better opportunities because of this. What was the guy? Brace? What was his full name again?
Charles Lauren Brace.
Yeah. What a fucking visionary at the time, 1853, right? To do this.
56, yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it? Are you
yeah.
sure? Do you want to double check that?
1856.
No. He started his thing in 53.
53, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so I found a note from the author, Andrea Warren.
Okay.
She said, that we know the amazing history of the orphan trains and the stories of many of the writers is due in large part to Mary Ellen Johnson of Springdale, Arkansas.
Oh.
When Mary Ellen learned about the orphan trains in the 1980s, she began searching not only for additional information, but for the writers themselves.
Oh, wow.
Through her efforts, the first Union of Orphan Train Writers came about, and it grew into an annual national gathering as well as state gatherings that continued over 2 decades.
That's cool.
Mary Ellen helped found the Orphan Train Heritage Society of America and became its director. Through the years, she collected and published the stories of many writers. Today, she is retired, and it is the National Orphan Train Complex in Concordia, Kansas, that is carrying forward the mission of preserving the history of the orphan trains.
That's cool.
The complex is housed in the former train depot in Concordia.
Oh, cool.
And it includes a small museum dedicated to the writers.
I mean, it should be in a train depot. I mean,
sure should.
It's the orphan fucking train.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. See, and it's cool when people like that can fucking, I don't know, bring shit like this to light. Because we never would have known about it. I never fucking heard about this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I know everything about history. That's why we do this, because you
Right.
teach me shit, more or less, is what it is.
Right.
I never even fucking heard of anything about this. So that's really cool. That it's a cool story. I don't
It
know.
was a cool story.
I don't know what better to say on it. So.
Yeah.
Welp.
I suppose.
All right, buffoons. That's it for today's episode.
Buckle up because we've got another historical adventure waiting for you next time. Feeling hungry for more buffoonery? Or maybe you have a burning question or a wild historical theory for us to explore?
Hit us up on social media. We're History Buffoons Podcast on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also email us at historybuffoonspodcast@gmail.com. We are Bradley and Kate. Music by Corey Akers.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and turn those notifications on to stay in the loop.
Until next time, stay curious and don't forget to rate and review us.
Remember, the buffoonery never stops.